So hi there, today I'm here with Daryl French and we are focusing today on the first-time home buyers and how much and how more difficult it is becoming to get into the market when you're a first-time home
Definitely.
buyer. So let's talk about the options and programs that are available to the first-time home purchasers and what is successful, what is working, so what are the options for the.
Well, there's three programs right now that are available, and a couple of them work very well. The third one probably is kind of failed a little bit. The first one being the property transfer tax, and that's a BC program. So for first-time buyers, when they're buying up to $500,000, they have the property transfer tax waived. On a $500,000 purchase, that saves them $8,000. It's a pretty substantial savings, so that's kind of nice. The second one is you can, as a first-time buyer, and it's a federal program, you can pull out up to $35,000 out of your RSPs without paying tax on them. Okay, so again, that's a great program. It's worked very well, but it does mean that the money has to be in the RSP for 90 days before you pull it out. So you do have to do a little bit of forethought and planning ahead of time and get that organized. It can't be a last-minute thing. The third program, which has been kind of a flop, they came up in the budget again this time. They're still touting it, the government. It's a federal program, and it's the 5% interest-free loan. It's 5 or 10% interest-free loan, 5% on existing homes, 10% on new construction. Again, it's limited to that $500,000 mark, so there's really no new construction under that price range. So the 10% is kind of a mute issue in the Okanagan. The 5% down loan, the problem with it is it restricts people's buying power much more than the conventional kind of 5% down requirements under the stress test, all those kinds of things. So I find I've only done about a half a dozen of these loans over the last almost coming up on 3.5 years. Since the program's been out. So the program was announced end of 2018, launched in 2019, I guess it is, and it was meant to be a 3-year program. As of the end of last year, I think they'd lent out about 10% of the funds. So 90% of the funds had not been lent out. So the program was a bit of a flop. They've said that it's going to be continued forward without really making a lot of changes to it. So that's not a super helpful one at this time. They also announced in the last budget, not a whole lot of details on it yet. We're meant to get some in the next month here, but talking about TFSA program for savings. I would assume it's going to be something similar to what we've got with the RSP program, which again, it works very well. I think it's a great program, but I don't think, I think going forward, I'm hopeful that the government, for first-time buyers, and this is really focusing on first-time buyers, I would rather see the amortization increased again. So I don't know if you're aware, you haven't been around as long as I have, but back a while ago, we had up to 40-year amortizations for certain mortgages. Okay, got chunked back to 35, 30, and now we're back to the 25 for all insured or high ratio mortgages. So stretching that out, it's a great way to allow more people, and focusing on first-time buyers, it's able to allow those first-time buyers to get into the market without costing the government any money. Okay, and if you think about it from a risk perspective, first-time buyers tend to be young. They tend to be in their steepest income curve, so they're making a lot of money over a 5-year period. Their income is likely to increase. So, and we're already qualifying them on the stress test at 2% higher than the current rate. So I'm not really worried about defaults in that with those programs. So I think that's a great way to stimulate things.
So how can, if there are first-time home buyers that are trying to get in the market and they're frustrated with all the conditions and, the increase, we've seen 40% increase in the average selling price in the Okanagan and Kelowna especially, what they can do, how they can, maybe get these or how they can fight this shorter amortization and what can be done.
Unfortunately, most of the first-time buyer files we see, and it's a huge percentage of them, they're getting family help. So whether it's mom and dad co-signing on the mortgage, whether it's a gifted down payment, any of these kinds of things, parents are helping out a lot, grandparents, whoever it is, to make it happen, because it's very challenging. If you look at the incomes versus as you just said, 40% increase in prices, incomes have not gone up 40%. So it's becoming more and more challenging to purchase. So most, as I said to you off the camera, like most of the files we're seeing with first-time buyers have family help in them.
Yeah, so if we would, if there's someone that really wants to change this and help us to maybe improve the government programs, what could be like, what would you suggest would be a way
Well,
to
yeah, I mean, I'm a huge believer in, reaching out to your politicians.
Yeah.
I know the Real Estate Council and I know the Mortgage Broker Council that I'm part of have all really pushed prior to the budget coming out to make some changes and put some things forward. And I'll be honest with you, very few of those things came out in the latest budget. So the more we talk to our politicians, the better chance we have of getting results that are going to help. And I don't think any of us here are wanting the government to be handing over a bunch of money. We don't want more government spending. We got a lot of that already. But there are some programs that can incentivize target groups, and we don't need 35-year amortization for everybody in the market. We've got a lot of demand in our market right now, but I think we do have to focus on that first-time buyer level and get them into the market. And so I think there needs to be some programs for them.
I agree. And if and we'll definitely give you guys update on the next, once we get more information on the next programs that will be coming out from the government to help the first-time home buyers. But if anyone wants to get more information about the RSPs or the property transfer tax or the 5 to 10% interest-free loans, how they can get a hold of you?
Yeah, give me a call, Daryl French, 250-470-8843. Thanks very much.